Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Karin Helmstedt.
Greetings from the German capital and welcome to our highlights edition, shaping up for us this time with the following topics. Man and Machine, a French artist and his talented drawing robots. Designer and Dreamer, a Catalan designer and his search for new materials. And Mountains and Sea, a visit to the magical Mediterranean city of Barcelona. Well, sometimes it does feel like things used to be much simpler. As an artist, you poured your feelings or your particular perspective and your emotional state into your work. You chose a medium, maybe oil paints or a chunk of marble, and after a while, you had a proper work of art. Well, today, you can sidestep that entire creative process and have a robot do the painting or the drawing for you. And when he does this, Patrick Tresset of France forces us to consider the question of who is really, in the end, the artist.
These paintings and drawings are not the work of a human, at least not directly, but of a robot. One of the best-known humans in the realm of robot art is Patrick Tresset. He has 3 robots working for him in his London studio, and they are all called Paul. Here, they're getting ready for a drawing session.
It's complicated because for me they are machines, I write the programs, but then they've made my career, and they are also kind of self-portraits. So it's a complex relationship between me and the robots, but also for me they are puppets. They do most of the time what I want them to do.
What they do is scan a room with their camera eyes and recognize human faces. Then they draw what they see, including shadows. It can take up to 40 minutes. Tresset has a master's in computer science. He made and programmed his robots himself. Even though Sabine Toupin has posed more than 20 times for Paul, she says it still feels weird.
The machine is basically imitating human behavior, so you're kind of like familiar with the movements, but at the same time, not really, because you are aware that is not a pair of eyes, that's a camera. So, but then at the same time, the movements are so naturally done that you're slightly confused at times.
Many who see the robots at work feel the same way. At least once a month they perform in public. This event was in Paris last year. As an artist and as a scientist, Tresset is interested in the interaction of human and machine. People tend to ascribe human attributes to the robots.
As soon as a thing has a behavior that makes sense, so look at something and react, you have to understand and you react to it. It's animal. We can't help it.
Robots doing art is not new, nor is computer science examining art. The British artist Harold Cohen started developing his Aaron program in the late 1960s. It decides what to draw or paint. Its output has been shown in museums around the world. Other robots respond to external influences. This one transforms sounds into impulses that determine the movements of its painting arm. The E. David painting robot is the brainchild of scientists at the University of Constance. It imitates a range of painting techniques and uses them to depict new motifs. The question underlying the project is, can machines be taught to be creative?
If you want, you have a bird and a plane. So they do the same thing, but not at all in the same way. So in the cinema, artificial intelligence can be like that. For example, you would think that to do a drawing like that, you have to have some intelligence or sensibility. But the system is not specially intelligent because at the moment there's no intelligent system. It doesn't exist. Artificial intelligence doesn't exist at the moment.
Each new art robot seeks to be brainier and more creative than the last, pushing the boundaries of artificial intelligence. Tresset is a visiting research fellow at Goldsmiths College, University of London. He has always been fascinated by both art and technology. After he sought treatment for mental health problems, he discovered that he had lost his passion for art, for doing things by hand. Now Paul the robot does it for him.
Computing now is used for everything, so why not the arts? I mean, now, of course, there is this kind of specialty, but a lot of artists use computers in one way or another to do their work. It's just a tool.
His adjutants may be very adept and able, and he may have delegated plenty of work to them, but Tresset says he is still the artist.
I don't think they're going to take over art because you still have an artist behind it. There are people in the scientific community or technologist community who are not artists to try to get a system to make art. It just doesn't work because they don't have this knowledge of what is art.
It is very unlikely that robots will soon be doing their own thing, as in creating their own art. Still, what they are already doing today is fascinating and just a bit uncanny.
And now over to Paris, the city of lights and of fashion and one of the most romantic cities in the world. For tourists, of course, it's also symbolic for its architectural masterpieces, the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. But for those who actually live there, life is unfortunately anything but romantic, which is why the city is now taking steps to reinvent itself into a greener, more modern and people-friendly capital.
Paris is one of the world's most popular travel destinations. The city is famous for its stately historical buildings. But for many of its residents, the French capital is also hectic and polluted. They long for more peace, quiet, and open spaces. So the city's government is redesigning numerous public spaces. For instance, the area around Les Halles in the city center. Until recently, it was home to a shopping mall built in the 1970s. Now it's been replaced with a light and airy new structure.
Under the shopping center, there's a metro station. You leave the train and ride the escalator to the top. En route, you see the sky, the trees, and the church of Saint-Eustache. It's like a gateway into the heart of Paris.
This was the site of the city's central market until it was torn down in 1971. Back then, it was a lively place. But over the last 3 decades, the area had become run down and attracted a criminal element. The renovations are designed to give the entire neighborhood a boost, something many residents welcome.
Before, things here took place underground. It was literally the underbelly of Paris. Now it's opened up, and it's the heaven of Paris too.
It really wasn't nice before. There's no comparison with what it looks like today. Now there's a great sense of space and lots of light. I can't wait for the park to be finished too.
The Place de la République is another place in Paris which has undergone major changes. Until 2013, it mainly served as a transport axis. Today, the square is full of families and skateboarders. But Les Halles and Place de la République are just the beginning. The city of Paris plans to revamp over 20 public squares and buildings by the year 2020.
At the end of the 20th century, the focus was on making Paris more car-friendly. Today, it's just the opposite. The creative class go to cities that are nice to live in, ones where they can walk, relax, sit and have a drink with friends outdoors, where they can meditate and exercise.
To make all that possible, the municipal government began the initiative Reinvent Paris, or Reinvent Paris. Architects and city planners from around the world have submitted plans. The winning designs are currently on show at the Pavillon de l'Arsenal. A dilapidated bus terminal is to be replaced by a glass structure topped with trees. A park, childcare center, and restaurants are part of the concept. A former train station in the south of Paris will feature an organic farm, amongst other things. The projects to improve the quality of working life include turning a villa into a people-friendly office building.
It's really a good idea, bringing back nature to the city and having more open spaces, at work, at home, and in the area of culture.
Projects to design urban structures that create links between people are really a good idea. It's just what we need today.
Back at Les Halles, the park that belongs to the shopping center complex is not quite finished. But visitors have already begun to arrive. And they're already enjoying the oasis of calm in the heart of Paris.
Well, nowhere else in the world do so many designers and furniture manufacturers come together than at the Salone del Mobile in Milan, Italy. Now, that's Europe's biggest trade show for furnishings and interiors. Designer of the Year, Eugénie Quitiliet, was also there this time, a Catalan designer whose work is defined by his constant search for brand new materials. Now, he even calls himself a diseñador. That's a word that's coined out of the Spanish words for designer and dreamer. And we met up with him to see his latest creations.
Whether it's lamps, headphones, tables, or chairs. Catalonian designer Eugénie Quitiliet follows his inspiration wherever it leads. At the Salone del Mobile, he's surrounded by journalists. Not long ago, he was voted Designer of the Year at the Maison et Objets Fair. He's in Milan with Italian furniture maker Cartel to present his dream chair.
A seat which is completely only connected in the back and in the front, and all the rest stay like a fabric, and all injected in one single piece.
Quitiliet has been coming to the furniture trade fair in Milan for the past 15 years. The Salone del Mobile is the most important venue for the designer to present his newest creations.
The best creativity is shown here, so everybody comes here to see what's going on in the planet. It's the moment where you show what you've been working during 1 year, 2 years, and it's now when the people see it for the first time, and you can see what is the reaction. So that's what we do it for.
The Salone Internazionale del Mobile in Milan is an institution. Every April since 1961, thousands of designers from around the world have presented their latest works here. With so much competition, it's not easy to stand out. Quitiliet has a simple tactic: stay true to your vision.
I call myself a diseñador. And diseñador is the dream catcher, in a way. So I try to translate this vision I have of the world of life, of a positive way, a beautiful way, into objects, and share the objects with everybody.
Quitiliet creates his prototypes in his office in Barcelona. He's a very ambitious person who isn't satisfied with simply making pretty objects. The designer wants to explore the limits of the materials he uses.
What's important is to have a story. The story, once you have the story, it gives you a general vision of what you are doing, and you just need to complete, and it comes automatically. So every piece comes in a very natural way.
Eugénie Quitiliet was born on the Spanish island of Ibiza in 1972 and studied design in Barcelona. He met trailblazing French designer Philippe Starck over a decade and a half ago, and the two launched a long-lasting cooperation that has resulted in numerous products, including the highly respected Master Chair for Cartel. Quitiliet's had an office in Barcelona since 2011. Back at the Milan Furniture Fair, he gets commissions from manufacturers around the world. For the Spanish company Palme d'Or, he's developed an entire bathroom collection. He wants the reflecting surfaces to create optical illusions.
You don't know what is empty, You don't know what is full. Everything, it's like if water was falling into the void. The intention is to bring to the bath a new dimension. And it's not really to have a bath, but it's like a living room. It's a living room in the bath.
Kitliet says his goal is to make people happy with his designs while simplifying their lives. That's why many of his objects fulfill more than one function.
We are always dreaming on all kinds of products, from automobile, from tableware, from chairs, from bath, from light. Everything is just be free to create. I want one like this for me.
Eugénie Kitliet, a man of vision whose products are once again gracing the prestigious fair in Milan.
And from the industrious Italian city of Milan, back to the place that Eugénie Kitliet himself calls home, as we saw there, Barcelona. The Catalan capital in northeastern Spain is blessed with an incredible location, with both the Pyrenees Mountains and the seaside just a stone's throw away. And because most people there actually speak two languages, Castilian Spanish and the local Catalan tongue, it has a cultural richness all its own.
It's impressively diverse. Both Catalonian and cosmopolitan, Barcelona is a city with heaps to offer, according to Alba Vendrell. That's partly because of its location between the mountains and the sea. The writer and blogger knows almost every corner of the city and lots about its history.
Thanks to the sea, Barcelona is connected via trading routes across the Mediterranean with the rest of Europe. It's the sea that made Barcelona into a city.
To get an impression of the size of the city, we head for Montjuïc, the hill that overlooks Barcelona.
From here we can see the entire city, including the Sagrada Familia, which will be the highest building in Barcelona one day. 8 spires have been completed up till now.
Another 10 still have to be built. You can take a cable car up to the top of the 184-meter-high hill. The Joan Miró Foundation was set up here on Montjuïc in 1975 during the artist's lifetime. Miró was keen to create a museum for his works in a place that had inspired him.
On Montjuïc, Miró did not have as much of a connection to nature as in his summer house. But this is a place that is still close to nature. And nature is a constant reference point in Miró's oeuvre.
Barcelona has a wonderful natural setting. Alba Vendrell is keen to show off what she likes most about her home city in her blog, La Barcelona que me gusta, or The Barcelona I Like.
The blog is mainly aimed at locals, and Barcelona identifies closely with both the mountains and the sea, so it's a good motto for the city. If we lose our way, for example, we always get our bearings by considering whether we're on the side of the street facing the mountains or towards the sea.
Just around the corner is Yambet, a small restaurant dedicated to serving modern cuisine based on regional traditions. Mountains and sea, or surf and turf, is also a concept that's widespread in Catalan cuisine. Blood sausage combined with small squid is one example.
It's an idea that I got from top Catalan chefs. I like it because of the contrast and the interplay between the ingredients. Sometimes you might think that mixing seafood with meat would never work.
After a good meal, it's time to head for the next hill, past Antoni Gaudi's famous houses, Casa Batlló and Casa Milà, to one of Europe's most unusual architectural complexes, Recinte Modernista de Sant Pau. It was built in 1902 by Luis Domènech Montaner and declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997.
This place used to be called the Shaven Mountain because there was absolutely nothing here. This was where the architect built the hospital, one of the most innovative of its time. He built the site at 45 degrees to the city grid of the Eixample district, lending the complex a perfect north-south axis.
To round off the day, we hop on a historic tram to reach the city's highest point. The 520-meter-high Tibidabo. There can't be many amusement parks where the rides offer such spectacular views.
In Barcelona, you're always walking up or down. You could say it's built on 7 hills like Rome, well, more or less.
So, if you're off to Barcelona, remember to pack some comfortable shoes.
And to finish off, we move into the world of virtual reality, which a number of social media platforms, like, for instance, Facebook, are trying to make more social. Now, the latest coup by a local Berlin firm is an app that's called Splash, which allows its users to get creative with 360-degree images and video.
If you see people turning in circles with a smartphone in their hands, they could be trying to make a splash. The Splash app lets users create panoramic videos with their smartphones. The app takes individual photos or videos and transforms them into a 360-degree image. The results can then be shared on social media.
You start with a blank space, like a blank 3D world, and you fill it with pictures and videos and really create everything from scratch, like creating a whole world.
Around a year ago, Israeli Michael Ronen and 2 other creative types founded the startup Viorama in Berlin. This is where they developed Splash with funding from grants and investors. To experience the app's full potential, you need virtual reality glasses. Here, a simple cardboard version focuses users' field of view on the cell phone screen, letting them enter into the world of their own videos, or those of others.
We really try to put out the concept of creating virtual reality, of 360 experiences easily, intuitively, in a playful way. But the consequences are not a game, they are real. You might find real people in your life that you befriend with. You might find out places you want to visit. You might find out things you want to buy or things you want to experience.
The app wowed the judges at the South by Southwest Interactive Media Festival. Wow! It won the Accelerator Award in the Virtual Reality Technologies category in Austin, Texas in March. That generated a lot of media attention for Splash. Helga Danker, a journalist who writes about smartphones, the internet, and social media, tested out the app.
The app is easy to operate. The software automatically assembles the pictures and splices them together. You can take video by holding down the capture button. It's fun, but it's probably more fun taking the shots than watching them afterwards, because the picture quality is not that great.
But that's set to change. The developers are working on an improved version of the app, which is initially only available for iPhones. The new app should be out by the end of April and help Splash attract more users. Currently, the app has around 20,000 users worldwide.
The main challenge that we have now is how to make it seamless. So currently, you have to tap around and to take several videos. And where we are heading in the next product iteration, you just move and tap, and you basically video paint your space.
The app's developers aren't just interested in bringing 360-degree images to the masses. They hope to turn Splash into a social network that can rival Instagram or Snapchat, but that's a long way off. And some critics doubt whether panoramic videos are really the way to go.
This topic has been under development for a decade, so this isn't a big breakthrough. It's an interesting app for taking holiday snaps, for displaying interior decor, for real estate agents to show what an apartment looks like, and for hotel owners. But it's still a niche market, and this app won't change that.
Splash is free, so anyone can view a given situation from every angle and decide whether to take the plunge and help turn Splash into a global social network.
And that's all for our look back at this week's highlights. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget that you can catch up with any missed episodes of the program on our website. So until we meet again, all the best from us here in Berlin. Auf Wiedersehen and bye-bye.